Now students, we are discussing each and every topic that are the last topics of your unit number 3 electrochemistry. Okay, now I'm going to discuss the each and every topic through this PPT. So students, we are going to discuss in this topic are batteries, fuel cells and corrosion. So any cell or battery that we employ as a source of electrical energy is basically an electrochemical cell. So here we are going to start the first terminology, that is known as battery. What is a battery? Now, a battery is an arrangement consisting of two or more galvanic cells connected with one another in series. The battery is used as a source of direct electric current at a constant voltage. Now, what are the characteristics of a battery? The characteristics of a battery are: first, it should be light in weight and compact in size. Second, the voltage of the battery should not change much during its use. It should provide power for a longer period. Fourth, it should be rechargeable. Now, there are types of batteries. There are two types of batteries. First, primary cells, or we can say primary batteries, or secondary cells or secondary batteries. First, primary cells or batteries. These are the cells in which the redox reaction is not reversible. Okay, these are the cells in which the redox reaction is not reversible. As a result, after some time, the cell reaction stops and the cell becomes dead. For this reason, primary cells cannot be recharged or reused. For example, Daniell cell, dry cell and mercury cell. In this PPT, we are not going to discuss about the Daniell cell because we have discussed this Daniell cell in your previous classes. Now in this PPT, I am going to discuss the dry cell and the mercury cell. So let's start with the dry cell. You can see in the diagram, dry cell. It is a compact form of Leclanché cell, known after its discoverer. In this cell, anode consists of zinc container, while cathode is a graphite rod surrounded by powdered manganese oxide and carbon. The space between the electrodes is filled with the paste of ammonium chloride and zinc chloride. You can see in the diagram also. Alright. So the reactions taking place at the electrodes are given in their simplified form. Okay. So you can see that at anode, zinc metal can on outside of cell. Okay. So the zinc reaction. Alright, and then at cathode, the MnO2 and carbon black paste, because its MnO2 reacts with ammonium ion plus electron, give rise to Mn2O3 plus ammonia plus water. The electrolytes are used are ammonium chloride and zinc chloride paste. Okay, it is filled between the electrodes. Now the cell potential, that is 1.5 volts, but deteriorates to 0.8 volt with use. Or we can say the cell potential of dry cells lies in the range 1.25 volt to 1.5 volts. Okay. Now moving to the second cell, that is known as mercury cell. You can see the diagram also, the mercury cell. It is a miniature cell which finds a frequent use these days to supply energy for watches, video cameras, hearing aids and other compact devices. In mercury cell, the anode is zinc, mercury amalgam, and the cathode is a paste of mercuric oxide and carbon. Electrolyte is a moist paste of potassium hydroxide and zinc oxide. Now, it is a modified Leclanché cell which replaces MnO2 with HgO and uses a steel cathode. You can see the various reactions takes place at the anode and cathode also. We have discussed about the electrolytes, and the cell potential is 1.3 volt with small size, long lasting and stable current and voltage. Now moving towards the secondary cells or batteries. Now, what are the secondary cells or batteries? These are the cells which can be recharged by passing electric current through them after every use. As a result, secondary cells can be used again and again for longer periods. In these cells, electrical energy is stored in the form of chemical energy. They are also called storage cells or accumulators. For example, nickel cadmium cell or lead acid storage battery. Now coming to the nickel cadmium cell, you can see the diagram. First of all, lead acid storage battery, you can see it is the most frequently used battery in automobiles. It consists of 6 voltaic cells connected in series. It consists of 6 voltaic cells in series. In each cell, anode is made of spongy lead and cathode is a grid of lead packed with lead oxide. The electrolyte is the aqueous solution of 38% H2SO4 which is present by mass. Okay. Now, a typical 12 volt battery consists of 6 individual cells connected in series. Anode, the reactions takes place at anode and cathode. We have discussed that electrolyte is present which is 38% by mass, that is sulfuric acid, and the cell potential, that is 1.924 volts. Now, nickel cadmium cell. It is another rechargeable cell. It consists of cadmium anode and the cathode made of metal grid containing nickel oxide. These are immersed in potassium hydroxide solution. It is also a modified Leclanche cell which is rechargeable. You can see various reactions takes place at anode and cathode. We have discussed that electrolyte is used, that is nickel oxo hydroxide. The cell potential is 1.30 volt, or in some other books it is also is there, that is 1.4 volts. Now coming to the fuel cells, this is a diagram of fuel cells. Basically the scientists have designed the cells which convert chemical energy of a fuel directly into electrical energy. So such cells are called fuel cells. These are the voltaic cells in which the fuels are such as hydrogen, carbon monoxide, methane, etc. are used to generate electrical energy without the intervention of thermal devices like boilers, turbines. Okay, now you can see that they are extremely used fed with methane or hydrogen which react to form water. Most common is hydrogen. The various reactions takes place at anode and cathode. The electrolyte is used as hot aqueous KOH solution, and cell potential is to be 1.23 volts, but it's only 40% of cell capacity. Now coming to the advantages of a fuel cell, that fuel cells do not cause any pollution. Fuel cells have high efficiency. Fuel cells are continuous source of energy. They used in Apollo space program, submarines or the other military vehicles. The product of combustion, water, was used for drinking purposes by astronaut. This is very important point, students. You must note it down in your copies, because if you can see the diagram of a fuel cell, okay, the outcoming product is water, which is really very pure and which is used by astronauts in the space programs. Okay, now coming to the next topic and the last topic of your unit number 3, that is corrosion. What is a corrosion? It is commonly observed that surface of a certain metallic objects slowly gets coated with oxide or some other salt of the metal on long exposure to the atmosphere. So basically corrosion is a oxidative deterioration of metal. 25% of steel produced in USA goes to replace steel structure and products destroyed by corrosion. Rusting of iron requires the presence of both oxygen and water. Rusting results from tiny galvanic cells formed by water droplets. So you can define that corrosion, it is a process of slow conversion of metal into their undesirable compounds. by reaction with moisture and other gases present in the atmosphere. You can see the diagram of basically it is an electrochemical theory of rusting. Alright, so according to this theory, the impure iron surface behaves like a small electrochemical cell in presence of water containing dissolved oxygen or carbon dioxide. Such a cell is called a corrosion cell or corrosion couple. In this miniature corrosion cells, pure iron act as anode and impurity act as a cathode. Okay, just note it down that corrosion cell or in which the pure iron act as anode and the impurity act as a cathode. Moisture having dissolved oxygen or carbon dioxide in it constituents electrolyte solution. Okay, you can see there is a oxidation occurs at anodic reactions takes place, which involves oxidation of iron atoms to Fe plus 2 ions. Alright, and the cathodic reaction involves a reduction of dissolved oxygen to water in the presence of H plus ions present in the electrolyte solution. Alright, so that you can write the net reaction of the corrosion can be obtained by adding these two equations. You can easily write the overall equation. Now what is a corrosion and how to prevent them. Alright, so basically galvanization is doing that. It is a coating of iron with zinc. A question comes in the board examination that how do you prevent which metal is used for the prevention of corrosion. So some of the students are writing any other metal, but you all have to write the zinc. Just underline what I am saying, that zinc is more easily oxidized than iron, which protects and reverts oxidation to the iron. After that, cathodic protection is there, is a protection of a metal from corrosion by connecting it to a metal, a sacrificial anode that is more easily oxidized. Alright, and the third one, that all that is required is an electrical connection to the sacrificial anode, usually magnesium or we can say zinc. Basically, if we talk about that sacrificial protection, so in this method, surface of iron is covered with a layer of more active metal like zinc. Okay, this active metal loses electron in preference to iron. Hence, they prevent the rusting of iron. The covering metal gets consumed in due course of time, but so long as it is present, even the nearly uncovered surfaces of iron do not get rusted. So in this way, scratches in the protective layer of this type are not harmful. So student, this type of protection is called sacrificial protection. Okay, after that, cathodic protection with magnesium anode. Basically it is a case of sacrificial protection. In this method, the exposed surface of iron is protected by connecting it to some more active metal such as magnesium. The other metals which can be used for this purpose are aluminium, zinc, etc. The more active metal acts as anode and loses electron in preference to iron. The iron surface acts as cathode. So this method therefore is also known as cathodic protection of iron. Okay, so in underground water pipes or tanks made up of iron are protected by this method. Now, cathodic protection with zinc layer. It is also a type of protect of iron coating with zinc layer. Basically, they protect the any metal from the rusting. So student, this is all about our topics of electrochemistry, that are batteries, fuel cells and corrosion. I hope you all understand. Thank you.